Maybe it's just me, but I think that there is a Pokemon eBay problem. What does that mean? Let's get into it. I keep noticing discrepancies, and of course, I'm only looking at things that I'm interested in buying because why else would I be shopping around on eBay, right? So maybe this is just a one-off. Maybe this is just something I'm coming across from time to time. But no matter the cost here and what we look at today, it's all speculation and really thinly researched because it's just something I'm noticing. And I don't know if this is widespread. Maybe you've encountered it. Maybe you could comment down below. And while you're down there, think about hitting that subscribe button because I'm doing a little bit of a giveaway here. I'm giving away this 3-pack blister of Evolving Skies to one lucky subscriber. I'm also going to be giving away 5 Pokemon mystery card lots to 5 additional winners. All you have to do is be a part of the channel, like I said earlier. And I want you to make sure you're entered in the right spot. Once we reach 6,000 subscribers, then I'm doing that giveaway. But go to this video here, and that's where you're going to leave an additional like and additional comment so that way you're officially entered to win. The link is in the description below if that's a little easier to get to that video. But let's actually dive into the subject today. So I've been looking at getting the Team Rocket's Wobbuffet. For those of you who don't know, and I'm sure anybody who's been following you do know, I really like the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, especially lately with the Pokemon Center stamped promos. This one is no exception. It is very interesting, and I prefer sealed, even though I hate the way they've done it now with the dividers in there and the non-stamp promo behind it. All of that kind of bothersome and annoying. However, it is what it is, and I'm not going to be able to change Pokemon. My input has had absolutely zero effect on the market whatsoever, so I'm not going to think that's going to change anytime soon. What I'm getting at is I believe in these particular cards, and I think they're interesting, so it is a staple of my own personal collection. And yes, I do have the Destined Rivals Pokemon Center version Elite Trainer box. I was very lucky to get one of those. However, I'm not going to open it. I mean, I can almost guarantee that I won't ever open it. It'll be a nice piece to a sealed collection and leave it at that. I only have one, and I have no reason to be ripping through it just to get the promo, so I'd like to get the promo loose. Now, this is coming out to about 150 bucks for me, not to mention a $20 shipping. I mean, $160 here, almost 170 all in. Yikes. Is this right? This doesn't make sense. It's not adding up. I mean, okay, great. We got the Pokemon Center stamp there. It's a sealed pack here. Wonderful, but I don't need to get this from the UK while I'm over here in the States. Are there better prices? There are. Lower quality pictures, but there's better prices. And we do see here, it's got the stamp there, 110, and free shipping. Okay, it's getting a little bit better. And that's a big jump to be a little bit better. From 170 down to 110, $60 difference for the same thing? What's going on? Is it really the difference of the UK versus probably being in the US? It could be. It could be. I don't know. Maybe it's even more wild than that. They'll give you the box, and they'll give you the promo with what appears to be the Pokemon Center stamp logo on there. Sealed pack here. If you're really paying attention, you can make out there's a second card behind it, so the non-stamped version. Of course, everything looks legit here. $5 shipping, $85 for the lot of it. I don't know why you need the box. Maybe people want that too. I don't need the box. So maybe there's some deal to be worked out if I contact them. I don't know. But you don't have to get them sealed. I prefer sealed. You can get just unsealed for now a little bit less, I guess. Okay, this would be coming from Canada, looks like. So we're at $67 there for me and another $5 on top here. Okay, so a little bit better, but again, I prefer to have the sealed version of it just to know it's all clean and legit from that original manufacturer packaging, and it just kind of goes with the greater set that I do collect. So they do have them. It does exist. It's available and at a little bit better price. Again, here, another Canadian listing here, $70, and then another $5 there, $75, which is getting a little bit more in line with what I was seeing in another major market of where you can purchase single cards, and that's TCG Player. All right, looking here, just seeing that the market price is showing $70, $70.50. Some recent sales going at $70. What else do we got? $70, $70, $65, $75 there. There's more to view if I want to, but you can see it's just been on this trajectory upward, and it's kind of leveling out a little bit here towards the end. I don't know if it's really going to be starting to tip down at all. Not a lot of sales happening here, so that's a good sign that to be competitive, the price will need to come down, although it's fairly new. Am I jumping the gun FOMO a little bit too much? Did I miss my opportunity and I'm feeling like I missed out at that $40, $45 range, and now I need to get it before it's too late? I don't know. I'm just looking. This is the last one I need of the Pokemon Center stamped promos for my collection. I even have the Black Bolt and White Flare, Tornadus and Thundurus promos already secure. So, I don't know. It's just something I'm watching. And it's interesting to see that 70, 70, 70 with shipping there, another 70 with shipping, 70 and a half, 73. Okay, it's starting to tick up a little bit. That makes sense. But there's a lot of listings there and so few that would get you there on eBay. However, there's no pictures here. I don't know if they're sealed. I don't know if they're not. And there's no way of contacting these individuals unless you've made a purchase and then you can interact with them. But I don't have that opportunity prior, and I'm not going to take the risk. So I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes. And I went through all the listings. There are no photos associated with any of these listings. I prefer when there are, but not as common to find that on TCG Player. So it brings us back over here to eBay to picking and choosing. Do I want to be in that price range of about $70, what we're seeing on the TCG Player market price? And there I can guarantee the price, but now it's not sealed like I'd rather prefer. Do I go in a little bit higher and deal with $90 to make sure I can get that sealed version on this? I can keep an eye out and look for it. I've been looking almost daily now for the past week and a half or so, and it's been floating around at this like $70 range on TCG Player, whereas on eBay it's been all over the place, usually really high. So is there a problem with eBay? What else are you getting involved in that listing? Is it the fact that there are photos? Is it the fact that you can communicate with them ahead of time and ask questions about it, maybe even pursue a deal? Sometimes I'll look into sellers and see what else they have listed. This one has none, so that's really great. Maybe they have other listed. There's no rating or anything, so it doesn't feel great to go with them. I don't know. Hard to tell at this point in time with them. No feedback yet. Yeah, that's not good. They just joined, so they could be new to it, or it could be a phony listing, and that's why this is a better price versus some of these other ones that are pretty severe. But what do? Be smart. Any red flags, just steer clear. If the price is too good to be true, obviously there's a good chance that it is too good to be true. If you find it in a position that you'd actually go ahead with purchasing it and you want to take that risk or whatever, have some sense about you with their feedback. If they have other listings, maybe you can get them to bundle some other stuff that you might have been looking at and see if you can work out a separate deal. I've done that many times where I'll look here and be like, geez, $110 on this. Let's look at the other listings. What if I got them to throw in these 3 other cards, and I said, all in, I'll do it. And it just convinces them to make the sale. They'll create a separate listing for you, go and check out, and then you're all set there. But it just gives them incentive to kind of make that sale and lock it in. You get a little bit extra on the back end there. But the fact that I have to compare this against what the market says over on TCG Player, which is pretty up to date. I mean, let's be honest, it's pretty up to date. It makes it a little difficult to understand why the risk over here for near mint, wrapped, I don't know, not wrapped, I don't know. Too many open questions for somebody who's trying to be that specific about their collection piece versus eBay, where they have that other elements going on, communication, photos to associate. One thing I do know is eBay takes a fee, but so does TCG Player, and it's what, 14 or 15%? It's something right there. I think it's about 15%. So no matter what they sell it at, they're gonna be losing out a little bit depending on the platform. So I get that. And that's why the market is where it is. It's the overhead of listing on eBay or TCG Player. It's the overhead of having a storefront. You have the lights to keep on and the door to keep open. I get that. So the true value is really based on the market and how the market has to operate. People selling these have to deal with other fees associated behind owning a business or running it as a business. Even if they're not, they're just a handful of cards, one-off, trying to get some things out there. They still got to deal with the fees, and they're taking a hit for the service of having these listing agencies, eBay or TCG Player and others. That could be a possible, aspect to how they can get it out there rather than Facebook or, other things like that, some other marketplace online. Other than the typical garage sale apps and stuff, does anybody use anything online that they feel comfortable with that's beyond eBay, beyond TCG Player for single cards? Because I'm on the hunt for this particular card, and it just kind of raises this question of what's the discrepancy about? Why is there such a large disparity between prices between the two listing platforms? I don't have the answer to that, but I do have the answer to this. This 3-pack blister is going out to 1 lucky subscriber along with 5 Pokemon mystery card lots. All you got to do is be a part of the channel. I mentioned it all earlier in the video on exactly what you need to do, so go check that out towards the beginning of the video for your chance to win any one of those 6 awesome prizes. And of course, I post 7 days a week, so please consider liking the video today, commenting down below, especially if you can help me out with some information, and subscribing to the channel. All of that goes a very long way with all the YouTube algorithm and all that junk, because we're trying to grow and we're doing pretty well here, but I'd like to see that take off even more. And with that, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.